and show you guys how I create my looks, what I incorporate and how I do it. Also, I really want to teach those that want to start their makeup with the skin and then the eyes last. So what you're going to do is you're going to prep the skin, but before that you're going to take a belt and you're going to cover your lace so that your products do not interfere with your lace, and then you're going to prep your skin. This is how you're going to prepare your skin. You're going to make sure that you hydrate the skin as much as possible. You will then go in with some moisturizer as well as some primer depending on the skin type. Now remember, if you are using a primer, you want to know what skin type you're working with. You also want to know the skin type of your client so that you know how much moisturizer that you're going to use, or hydrating spray, or whatever that you're going to be using for hydrating, whether it's a serum or a spray. So skin prep essentially is very important. After your skin prep, you're gonna have to make sure that you apply your foundation, match your foundation to her chest area or the rest of the body. Try to avoid trying to match the foundation to the neck. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So you're going to blend in your foundation, and then you're going to go in with some contour, or in this case bronzer. What is bronzer going to help you with? It's going to warm up the face, and you're going to make sure that you apply that bronzer on the forehead. It is supposed to be darker starting from the hairline, and as it recedes towards the face, it's supposed to be lighter, or it's supposed to blend into the foundation. And you can see that her face is already starting to warm up. Next up, you're going to take your blush, apply it on the highest points of your cheekbones, and then go in with your concealer. In this case, I'm using my concealer that I purchased from David Beauty Cosmetics. Let me tell you something. High-end quality products are super expensive, but they're gonna last you long, and they're going to give you amazing results. I've been using these Too Faced Born This Way concealers for the longest time and I'm only running out now, but they have lasted for so long. You're going to blend your concealer, making sure that you maintain the shape of your contour. You can see that now she's starting to have more dimension on her face, and I also want you guys to pay attention to the amount of effort I'm putting into my beauty blender. You can see that I'm slightly bouncing it onto the surface of the skin. I really avoid putting too much pressure and over blending. You will now take your brush and do your nose contour, making sure that you are snatching that nose. But for an updated nose contour, you're going to need to try and avoid those two dark lines. So you see me bouncing off my brush in a blending technique. And then I'm going to go in and spray and lock in everything. This is going to help you with longevity. After locking in everything, take your loose powder, set the areas that you've applied your concealer only. Then after, you're going to take your powder or your pressed powder and set the rest of the face to bring back her shade or her tone. I hope I'm making sense so far, but yes, like I said, we are creating a glamorous look, but I really wanted to go subtle on the eyes, but also bold. I do say bold, subtle, and bold because for this eye look, I didn't want to go with bright colors, not bright colors, but colorful colors like reds, pinks, purples, blues, and yellows. I really wanted to go with nudes, so I went in with browns, but I also lifted her eye and made it look like it was a very bold eye lift, at the same time maintaining my nudes. Hence, I like to say it's a soft look, yet also bold. And then now what you see me doing is just setting the rest of the face, and I want you guys to focus on how me setting the rest of the face brings back her color and her shade, and it brings oneness or unity to the face compared to setting your contour separately, setting your concealer separately, and setting the rest of the face separately. So these are the things that I do teach in my classes. If you feel like what I'm talking about actually makes a lot of sense and you'd like to know more or to learn more, I am always available for an upgrade class or a beginner's class at that. After setting the rest of the face, you need to go in with your contour or your bronzer. Here's how you choose your contours and your bronzers. Always try to go with 2 or 3 shades darker than your client's skin tone. That way your contour is not too dramatic. So you continue making sure that you're bronzing up the face. So everything that we did or do with our wet products, we do with our powdered products. I hope you guys are taking notes and are paying attention at this point. If you've reached this part of the video, well done, because there's still more to learn. So you continue blending, and you will see me giving directions in the video. I was just trying to teach my studio artist, getting her up to date with the new techniques that I've been implementing. You will also snatch your nose, making sure that that nose is properly snatched, and then you will go back and deepen or give your contour more dimension. But when you're doing this, try to achieve a look that is also subtle, but also at the same time, we need to see that the person is glammed up. After doing all of that, you've done your powders. I skipped a few steps, which are spraying and locking in all those powders to give her a skin-like look, as you see in the video. And then I went in with my spoolie to brush up her hairs and make sure that they're laid down before I do my eyes or bake. Baking and setting, let's talk about those two different things. Setting is to lock in your wet products, make sure they don't move. Baking, on the other hand, is going to emphasize your brightening, going to lift certain areas, but it's also going to catch fallouts from eyeshadow, which is what I'm doing. If you're somebody who wants to transition from starting with the eyes to starting with the skin, baking needs to be a best friend, because this is going to help your eyeshadow not to mess the rest of the face. We're now going in with a concealer, which we are using as an eyeshadow prep, just so that our eyeshadow does not move. And I'm making sure that I blend it all out, because my mission or my goal is not to create a cut crease, so I don't want any visible harsh lines. Instead, I'm doing a soft crease. So I start with my transition shade using my clean brush. Clean brushes all the time, girlies. I always preach this to my students. I am a huge fan of hygiene when you're a makeup artist. So transition shade, which is a shade that we use to transition from her normal skin color. I love to use a brown as a transition shade on almost on all my looks. And then after that, I go deeper. I'm going to go deeper with a deeper brown. And then I'm going to go in with a peach that is sort of nudish. But I also really wanted to maintain her eye shape. She has eyes that are a bit lifted. So naturally her eyes have this cat eye feel, and whenever I see a client's eyes, I try to do exactly or customize their look according to what might suit them best. I felt like this eye look would suit her eye shape really well, so that's what I did. I'm also using another shade. For the eye look, I used at least 3 shades to create this beautiful masterpiece. You don't need to use 100 eyeshadow shades in order to achieve whatever look you're going for. It's all about the technique. So I'm just blending it in, making sure that I give depth. This is when I'm applying my 3rd shade, and then I went in and used my liner. You guys know me by now. I used the Inglot gel liner, shade number 77, which is my favorite. I love this gel because it just will not disappoint you. It dries out really quick, and it gives you this very deep black clean look. You know, I'm just gonna line her under eyes as well, and also just give her that cat eye look that I was speaking about earlier. And then I'm going to blend out and smoke out the outer parts of her eyes. This is going to accentuate her eyes, but also smoke her eyes out. At this point, I was super satisfied with this look. Did the brows off camera, and I just was shaping them out. Listen, doing brows last will help you to use less concealer, but also your skin work will stand out more than your brows. I'm just blending out that concealer. If you want your look to look really beautiful, make sure you blend out all the harsh lines that are visible. Never ever tell yourself, oh, let me just skip this step, I'm gonna come back, because then those are the little things that count in makeup artistry. For her lips, I wanted to go nude with a bit of pink, although at this point I thought to myself, this pink is just not blending well with the eyes. So later on, when I applied my gloss, I decided to go a bit more nude and just make it a bit more subtle, because already her hair was speaking glamour. And this is how she was looking at this point. Guys, I can't wait for you guys to see the final look. I hope you lasted till this far. If you got to this part of the video, please leave a green heart in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and here's the final look.